Good people, on this next episode of the podcast, Aiming High in the A, I have the pleasure of sitting down with our 61st mayor of the great city of Atlanta, Mayor Andre Dickens. And joining us, as always, is the legendary Monica Kaufman Pearson as we talk technology. Let's get it.
Welcome to Aiming High in Atlanta, where we highlight the innovation, the leadership, and the partnerships shaping Atlanta's future. I'm your host, Monica Kaufman Pearson, and today we are joined by Atlanta's Mayor, Andre Dickens, whose administration is leveraging technology to make Atlanta more connected, more inclusive, and more prepared for the future. Also with us is Jason Sankey, the City of Atlanta's Chief Information Officer, who oversees the systems and digital infrastructure that support residents, businesses, and city services every day. So your administration, Mayor Dickens, has positioned itself as a technology key driver. You want to see this progress, and you want to use technology to do it. Now, one of the things that are your four pillars that you want to connect. One, a safe city, a city built for the future, a city of opportunity for all, and an effective and ethical government while shaping Atlanta's long-term vision. How do you do that?
Well, part of it is you do it by setting the vision and being intentional about it and making sure that you drive excellence throughout the whole organization to reach that vision. And you have to have good people like CIO Jason Sankey and his team at AIM. We want technology to be used as a tool that enhances everything that we do. And so when we talk about being a city that's built for the future, clearly you need technology for that. Technology is constantly evolving and changing and advancing, and we want to be at the cutting edge of that. For far too long, the public sector, the government sector, has been far behind the private sector on technology. Old computers, old systems, things outdated. But our city, with our administration and the leadership that I mentioned before with CIO Sankey and his team, we're on the cutting edge and constantly trying to evolve and be better today than we were yesterday. And so One Safe City also includes a lot of technology in it, whether that's the tools that the police department uses or the tools of the community. We use technology to help our youth in after-school programming. We use technology in everything that we do to make sure that our city is safe, but also make sure there's opportunities for everyone. So from applying for a job online, that's technology, making sure that's a seamless process, to getting a permit or paying a water bill. We use technology to make sure that the citizens of Atlanta have a efficient, effective way to be able to communicate with their government, to do transactions, and to be prepared for career development, because we're working with partners that help train people in these technologies. So there's so much to it. I'm a tech mayor, being a Georgia Tech engineer. I can go on and on about it. We can't be behind any other city. Atlanta's at the top and at the forefront of any technology that is out there, including artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. We want everybody to know that their city is top notch when it comes to technology.
Well, CIO Sankey, the question is, how are you working with the city departments to ensure that they have the technology that they need, and how do you support it to advance the mayor's objectives?
Sure, so that's a great question. I want to start by saying my job is a lot easier because I have a mayor that understands technology. So I don't have to sell the importance of technology or investing in technology, and it starts top down. So his message to the departments is to leverage technology to really advance the city forward. So we are a forward-thinking city. So our departments are already engaging technology and saying, how can we use technology better and more effectively? It's funny, we had a pilot with Microsoft Copilot, and it was about 350 users as part of this pilot. It was a proof of concept. And the departments kept coming to me saying, hey, how do I get a license? How do I get a license? Because they wanted this technology. They wanted to use it to grow. They wanted to use it to execute on the vision. So it's been a really good partnership. The ongoing operations and maintenance is a day-to-day thing. So we're a 24/7 city, 365. And we're FIFA, so it feels like we're 28, 29, 34/7 city. But we're a constant operation, so we support anytime there's any disruption, but our goal is no disruption. Mm-hmm. And that's not easy to do, but we have a dedicated team to make sure that technology is reliable. Because what do we expect? We expect technology to work.
Well, that leads me to a question when you were talking about it. When you have so much technology, how do you protect yourself from outside invaders who can screw up the system?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to leave it to CIO Sankey to talk the technology and the technical aspects of it. But one is you start with the vision at the top of it is that citizens of Atlanta and businesses of Atlanta are going to be able to interact with our system safely, that we won't have any challenges that will cause them problems, and that we will have a stable system, one that they can rely upon, and it protects their data. It does, there's privacy, as well as, we experienced a 2018 disruption or attempt that came about. Ransomware was a ransom attack that came many years ago prior to my administration, and it locked the city out of some of its operational capacity for a short amount of time. The city learned from that. Our CIO was not then, and now he is the CIO, and he's the one that's been relentless about making sure that we have our cybersecurity up to date and constantly making sure that we as users are making sure that we're safe and making wise decisions about what to click on and what not to click on, called phishing attacks and other things like that. So we don't want any of those problems from the past, and anything that we can foresee in the future we try to avoid, and that comes from training and leadership, but also technology.
And two things I'll say, and I did say not on my watch, Mayor.
Right.
Two things. One is, as the mayor mentioned, training and education, really having people understand what it is that they're doing. So when you go in and you're clicking throughout the day, or you go into different websites, really taking the time to educate folks so they know what risks they're bringing into the city. So that's been our top priority. I'll give you an example. The mayor mentioned phishing. When I came on board, our click rate, that means the amount of times that employees would click on a active phishing attempt, was in the 15 percentile. We're down to 2.3%.
That's great.
That's leading the nation. And the second thing is prioritization. So making cybersecurity a priority for the city, a priority for the objectives of AIM, and making sure that we keep the city safe is important, and not getting comfortable with the day-to-day operations or day-to-day technology, but really emphasizing the prioritization of securing the city.
So I can't go shopping on your network. Well, a major priority for your administration has been addressing digital inequality. So, Mayor, how is free public Wi-Fi helping ensure that every resident, including those in underserved communities, have access to online services, education, and opportunities?
Yeah, to make Atlanta a city of opportunity for all, you have to try to make it for all in every category, whether that's housing, whether that's training and educational opportunities, and also in digital inclusion. We want to overcome the digital divide. Across this nation, the haves and the have-nots are having two different experiences with technology and access to technology. And that has led to differences in educational outcomes, health outcomes, because so much of what we learn about our bodies and about our health, we find out by Google searches or other tools, even what medicines to take and what remedies to have, and just how to eat healthy and exercise right. So we are utilizing free Wi-Fi around the city as a way to overcome that digital divide, so that people that may not have the money to pay for an internet service at home, or have a limited internet service at home that doesn't have high-speed capability, their kid that need to do a science project or some kind of school project, or that person that's trying to apply for a job or gain some information that can help them in their life, they can come to us. They can trust their government to be able to provide free, high-speed Wi-Fi for them. And currently, under this man's leadership and his team, we have it at Centennial Olympic Park, and we have it around City Hall, and we have it at the Atlanta University Center, which is Morehouse Spelman, Clark, et cetera, and Morehouse School of Medicine. And we're going to grow from there. CIO Sankey and his team, in partnership with Georgia Power and Comcast, have made that happen.
So, CIO, the public Wi-Fi network expands, but what steps are you taking to prioritize neighborhoods that have the greatest need and ensure that the digital divide shrinks?
So, as the mayor mentioned, right now we have 3 sites, and that's our pilot program. But it's our vision to expand it to all communities. So I think about the Beltline, starting with the Beltline, Wi-Fi throughout the Beltline, and every community within having Wi-Fi. So we are going to start with our fire stations, and we're going to put Wi-Fi access at the fire stations, allow public to come up to use in a public setting. Then we're going to look at schools. Then we're going to look at our rec centers, and then we're going to expand the community. So the thought and the vision is you can go anywhere and you can be productive. Because when you think about a small business as an example, for a small business, technology is just as essential as electricity and water. And if I'm an entrepreneur, I can come to City Hall right now and I can log into the Wi-Fi and I can start my business and be productive. And sometimes we take for granted some of the things that we have available to us on a day-to-day basis. Everybody doesn't have that same level of access. So we're going to provide that.
I think when I think of the unsheltered, in many cases, they do have telephones, and those telephones can be Wi-Fi connected.
Correct.
This will help them a great deal.
Right, for sure.
Well, the world has turned to Atlanta because of FIFA.
Yeah.
And all of our visitors, I'm sure, are enjoying the Wi-Fi Centennial Olympic Park.
Yeah.
So how does the integrated public Wi-Fi initiative allow us to meet the needs of the underserved communities that we talked about, but also long-term for the visitors to our international city? That's to both of you.
Well, I'll start by saying, sometimes when you travel abroad, between the SIM cards and the connectivity that you have, your carrier in this country may not work in that country, or you got to pay a certain amount every day to utilize it. And, we're on the positive side of that, but there are certain countries that it's really an enormous cost. Their providers aren't as, I guess they don't have as much of a network as we do, and then they have a carrier that connects to a carrier, and all those people are part of an exchange that has to get paid. So you may be coming from a country that costs you $50 a day just to have, service. Well, if you're coming to Atlanta for FIFA World Cup games or for anything else, you can get to FanFest and have free Wi-Fi to be able to connect to your family and to be able to do the things you need to do, check on your airline ticket, check on the things you need to check on. So imagine that burden that's lifted off of someone who's trying to watch their dollars as they're coming and going. And then maybe they'll spend that $50 here in our city at a restaurant or on a retail item that says Atlanta, and they take it back to their hometown versus spending it on technology that, really could have come for free by being here in Atlanta. And that's just one example. I can think of a number of examples that their service might be so low that it's hard to connect, it's hard to upload that photo that they just took enjoying themselves in Atlanta. Now it takes them they got to wait to upload it. Well, with this high-speed internet, it can be real time. They can be doing FaceTime or communicating on WhatsApp with their family abroad, and they're getting that feel of Atlanta, and they're like, I want to get there too. That family member may be buying their Delta airline ticket while this family member is enjoying FanFest, all because of, what we just did.
CIO?
And just to add to that, and it's interesting because that's where the initiative started. It started with, we're going to be hosting 8 games here in the city of Atlanta. We wanted that seamless experience. But then we started looking at the communities and saying, there's a disparity here. So that's why this was a start with FIFA, but it's going to live beyond. Yes. And we're going to continue that expansion. So that way, as the mayor said, when we have visitors from other countries, they can connect, but also our communities can connect at any given time, any given point.
So how does improving connectivity, Mr. CIO, through public Wi-Fi or other initiatives, how does it create a more supportive environment for small businesses in Atlanta?
So as I mentioned, with the capabilities, you can come to City Hall and you can do your business at City Hall. You could log into the Wi-Fi, but it also creates a sense of, I'll say, community, because we're a remote society now. So when we are fully realized in this vision, you can go to the park. You can go to the park, you can do business at the park, you can meet your customers at the park, and you can be connected. And ultimately, giving small businesses that freedom and that flexibility is something like no other, where you don't want to be in a brick and mortar anymore. People want to be out and about, and they may not want to be in a coffee shop. They may want to be on the street. They can do that now.
That's why workspaces, I think, have been growing so quickly in the city of Atlanta, that people really want to have small spaces to do their work in.
Options.
Options.
Yeah.
Well, Atlanta's also been investing in smart city tools, including the IKE Smart City kiosks that provide real-time information, navigation assistance, because of all those Peachtree streets, public Wi-Fi hotspots, and community resources. So, Mayor, why are smart city solutions like these important for residents and visitors alike?
Yeah, so I mean, this is also just a part of communications a lot of times, and just being a city built for the future. When you see these Ike Smart boards where you can gain information about where restaurants are, but you also can gain information where resources are, like you can find out what city jobs are available and other jobs. You can find out where a nearest animal shelter or homeless shelter is. On those boards is art galleries and wayfinding. Hey, you're downtown and you don't know where the stadium is or where the Fox Theater is. You can go on this Ike board and find it out. You can also right now during FIFA find out the score of the game. Even if you're not at the match, you can still stay up to date on the match. A number of other things. You can take a picture and send that selfie to yourself. But also it just looks cool driving down the street to get messaging out. So we sometimes do messaging about traffic flow. We do messaging about big events coming up. We also do precautionary messaging. We've done messaging about how to prevent domestic violence on those boards. And so we've used them in a number of ways. And the triple benefit to it is that it's free to us and it actually produces revenue because those businesses often advertise themselves on those boards. So we're getting revenue dollars, kickbacks to the city for allowing these Ike boards to be here, and we can use that revenue to pay for other city services.
So what does IKE, Ike, stand for? How did it get that name?
So that's the name of the company.
Okay.
It is Ike Smart Kiosk. I just want to double down on something that the mayor said. So we do get the revenue, and I'm going to say how it comes full circle. We use that revenue to produce the Wi-Fi Connected Atlanta. So it didn't come out of taxpayer dollars. It didn't come out of any fees taken from the city. It came out of the advertisement revenue that the city received. So it becomes this circular solution that really self-sustains. And I'll say my heart is with the Ike Smart Kiosk. That was one of the first contracts that I helped negotiate when I joined the city. And we now have about 120 throughout. We're going to go up to 220.
And we're the city with the most Ikes than
Wow.
any other city in America.
So really what you defined what it does, but how does it encourage Atlantans in terms of pride when you said that we're the leader in that?
I think it's all about expectations. Expectations have changed, right? So Atlanta leads everything. Let's just throw that out there. And when it comes to technology, that means expectations are higher. And so we listen to the community, and we have these solutions that are based on user-centered design and development, meaning we get impact, we get input from the city, and we make that impact outward. So we make advancements with the kiosks, with our chat bots, with everything else based on the feedback we receive from the community, because we don't want to say we think it works for you. We want to hear back and say, how does it work? Is it delivering the services that you need? So we invest based on feedback and not based on what we think people need.
Oh, I like that. Well, technology is also transforming how residents interact with government. So, Mayor, how is modernizing the digital systems helping make city services more efficient, transparent, and user-friendly? And I can tell you this. A friend was recently applying for a business license, and she was amazed when she got a text one day from the city telling her, and an email saying, you have 110 more days before your application disappears. Who knew?
Right. Well, that's part of it. You know, expectations, as the CIO just said, expectations have risen every single day. We live in a digital society. So people don't want to have a different government experience than they have a social experience. I know you probably, you don't have all those boxes coming to your house like every day with all those things from Amazon, and you don't have all those things coming to your house from all that shopping stuff. I know not you, but most people I know, including my mom, have these nice boxes every other day that just show up from things that they bought online.
2 a day.
2 a day. And you buy those things, you can, your information is stored in there, you trust it, it tells you when it's going to be delivered,
Yeah.
it gives you options, and it's almost, like clockwork. You don't want to go there, have a 8-minute experience to buy, some products, some shoes. You can spend 8 minutes and buy shoes, and they show up in a day. And then you go to your government and you can't apply for a job, and it takes you, 3 days to figure it out, or to do a business license, and it never comes. You should be able to have that same experience. And if you have a subscription, it tells you from a business perspective, if you have a subscription for a TV or for a recurring product that you buy, it tells you, hey, in 30 days, this is going to expire, or hey, you need to, change this or do that. It gives you feedback. It doesn't wait for you to tell it, I forgot, right? And so that's our experience now. You have a business license, you have a certain set of expectations with the city of Atlanta. We want to make their experience easy and frictionless as possible. Far too long people have said, you got to deal with the county, you got to deal with the city, and they did it in such a way that seemed like it was unnecessarily burdensome. Well, we try to reduce as much of that burden as possible utilizing technology. And the commissioners are listening to the people. And so the commissioners are asking the CIO what tools we can use, and the CIO and his team is asking the departments and the commissioners to do better. And so it's an ongoing iterative process of improvement to where customer satisfaction is met.
It is. My job's not easy.
Oh,
People want Amazon services out of the city.
so what improvements can residents expect to see as the city continues advancing this digital service and the infrastructure?
I think the possibilities are truly endless. I was talking to the mayor the other day, and there's a potential that we could look at maybe offering broadband to homes at a subsidized rate. So that way, when we talk about public access at public environments, actually homes have different experiences based on where you live, based on what you can afford. And wouldn't it be great if the city could come together and provide solutions that give children the same access regardless of where they live in the home, so you don't have to leave your home. So the opportunities when it comes to technologies are truly endless. And I think generative AI has changed things, where you talk about expectations. Now, if you go into a generative AI platform, you want answers that quickly. And if you have to wait 15 seconds, you're like, why is it taking so long?
Yeah,
What's wrong with my prompt?
Right.
So when I think about the future, possibilities truly endless.
So let's talk about collaboration. Strong collaboration across departments, communities, and civic partners. That's been a hallmark of your administration. And Atlanta's becoming one of the country's most forward-thinking cities when it comes to technology and innovation. What does the next chapter look like as the city continues to expand its access? What can we expect in the future, you two?
Teleporting. I know. I just be here, and then in 10 seconds later, I'm in Arizona. No, just kidding. They're not UFOs and anything
Listen,
like that.
wait a minute. Remember when these watches were only for Dick Tracy?
Right. Yeah.
And now they're real?
They're real.
So.
And glasses now that are giving you information and you're recording. I remember the video phone was like, oh, they can talk,
Yes!
that'll never
And
happen.
now it's real, so don't laugh.
Right.
You never know.
You never know. I'm scared, but yeah, you never know.
So what does the next phase look like?
Well, I'll let the CIO. He's at the tip of the spear of knowing all these things that are next. What I can tell you is wherever society is pushing, we have to be there. The government can't be behind the citizens' interests, nor the citizens' expectations, nor can we be behind the citizens' needs. So everything from right now, just making sure that the basic functions of government feel as cohesive as the citizens expect. That means collaboration. I say Atlanta is a group project. So we're doing things via technology that encourages various departments to utilize same platform, data sharing, information sharing, and collaboration that wouldn't have been possible with just pencil and paper or even some simple Excel spreadsheets. But they're working together in a way that they wouldn't have been able to without technology advancements. Of course, artificial intelligence is endless, and we benefit from it right now. We're utilizing artificial intelligence inside of our water systems to be able to track leaks. So if there's a leak, we're able to detect it, and we can tell you if it's a small leak, a minor situation that we can get to soon, or if it's going to be a major leak that we need to get to right now. So we can detect it, and that's all utilizing technology and a number of things that we're doing to really advance and push the needle forward. CIO probably hears about new concepts, often, and so what do you think that we can go to next?
So you mentioned teleport. So air taxis is a real thing, right?
Yeah.
So we're I would say months, not even years away from air taxis. So
True.
get ready.
Yeah.
Whether or not we'll decide to get on them, that's a different
That's another
discussion. But the one thing that I'll say, the mayor mentioned earlier, iterative process. So we're continuously making changes in technology for the good of the community, for the good of our businesses, for the good of our visitors. And we're going to consistently elevate that. And what I think I heard, is we're going to be an Amazon-like city.
Yes.
So
That's what I heard.
I'm going to add that to the priorities as well. But that's the change with generative AI and where we're heading. You want immediate, you want technology to work, you want it to be reliable, you want it to be secure, and those are the things that we're focused on.
One last question. All of this is very exciting, but you need a workforce who's just as intelligent as you two are. And when you look at the Atlanta Public Schools, they're not in your control,
Right.
quote unquote. But what do you envision for the educational system with the Atlanta University complex and with the Atlanta Public School system so that all of our students are prepared for what you're doing and for the future?
Yeah, it has to go hand in hand. One hand washes the other, as I like to say. So we're not over the school system, but man, we want those children to learn technology, to benefit from it now in their classroom, and to be the producers and the contributors to the next phase of technology when they get to sit in these seats, or even before this, when they're in college and beyond. So not only do we want them to benefit from learning technology and utilizing technology in their development while they're in the school system, but we want them to have an appetite to be creators, to be producers of technology, to be scientists, data analytics, and to create the next phase of wherever we're going in AI and quantum. Those are great jobs, but we want also to have our youth's perspective. We have a diverse population. So when you have Black and Latino and women in the creation of these apps and in the creation of these digital platforms, we don't have to fix it way down the line to, improve upon, it has a bias. We don't see any people in this. The examples that they use never thinks about the urban environment or others. And so if they're in the development room, if they're a part of the production team, it kind of comes naturally so that we don't have to fix it later. It gets created with intention that is inclusive. And so we want our kids right now to learn these things because they're going to be, needing a job, and these are where the jobs are. But we also want them to benefit from it in their households, which is why we're doing all we can to overcome the digital divide, to make sure that there's a broadband Wi-Fi access point to it. We're working with Atlanta Public Schools in many ways, and the STEAM programs and after-school programs, sometimes using our rec centers, sometimes using our At Promise centers to train these young people on the way they should go. And I know the CIO and I share our desire to give back, and so we want them to see us as examples, and the people that support us as examples of folks that they could become us. They could even be better than us and contribute to society that way.
Yeah, and two things I'll add. Thanks to our visionary mayor, our summer youth employment program, we have 18 interns right now.
Wow.
For the summer in AIM. And they're great, and they're like sponges. They're learning, but they're also very smart. And also with our rec centers, we built these gaming opportunities that bring in students, and not just to play the games, but to learn how technology is used to solve problems and how to code and things of that nature. So these are things that, although we're not directly in the schools, through these programs that the mayor put forth, we're able to impact those students.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you. We're going to duplicate both of you.
That's the next job, actually, cloning.
That's it. Watch out. Thank you both for being here, because technology is shaping a more connected and more inclusive Atlanta. And what shall we say? Your leadership will ensure that our city is always number one when it comes to technology, and everything else, and every neighborhood will have every tool it needs to be the best that they can be. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.